Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So it's that time of week again. It's our usual Friday night live, and we're back on track as normal. So I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's keeping good. Hope life's treating you well, and with everything that's going on in the world, I hope you're managing to keep your head above water. Um, if anyone sees my TikTok on my new TikTok channel, you'll be able to go on and have a look. So if you remember when I first set up my YouTube channel, probably the first or second video that I did was about a food bank that we set up in Bradford. And it was just literally a couple of three of us just walking around Bradford city centre, just handing out food parcels in Bradford city centre. And I went back and did a review after so many years last week, and I've just put the video up on TikTok, and you can see how much it's changed. You know, the way it's completely changed from being just three guys handing stuff out in the city, handing out a few food parcels that we'd cooked at home, to now being a full-on operation where they've got a clothing bank. They've got boys have set up uh, fresh bread and groceries and stuff that they can all take away, as well as the hot food that they're getting. So it's gone from just a couple of us to doing something to a massive operation that's feeding. I think the last count was, they said they feed between 150 to 180 people, families, a week, and that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. So it just shows how little effort it takes to start something, a little bit of effort that it takes to start something, and it can grow into something really special. So that was really moving. I put that up on TikTok today. So if anyone wants to go and have a look at that, you can see exactly what I'm talking about. But I hope everyone else is keeping well. Hope life's treating you good. Ned Kelly, Adam Heath, Anita Stone. Hope you're all well. Hope you're all good. See, that's one of the. It was the second. I think it was either the first or the second video I put up on TikTok, on YouTube. So the first or second video I put up on YouTube was about this food bank that we just set up. It was the 18th of November, 2018. I remember it very clearly. Really, it's just gone on turned into something absolutely amazing. So right from the very start, this we've been beyond just growing food and showing how we can get involved with the community and do stuff in the community as well. Karen, how are you doing? Thank you very much for coming in. Mimi Susu, hope you're well. Thank you very much for coming in. Hope life is treating you good, and hope everything is good with you. Mark Rawlings, hope everything's good with you, mate. Greetings, everyone. Great to catch up. It's time to digest with all. What's going on with everyone? Give me an update on what's going on in your lives. How things are treating you, and this TikTok picture's not very good, is it? That light's catching and shining really badly. So yeah, give us an update on what's going on with everyone else. I'm not getting much time in my garden at the moment. I'm really struggling to get outside. So I'm struggling to get a video made. Just really struggling with time. Work this time of year, just work is the busiest time of year for me at work, between December and January, with a tax deadline. These last couple of months of the year, it just gets crazy busy, and yeah, but it's going to set me up for the rest of the year, these couple of months. And so I'm not getting any. So a lot of people will be able to relate to this. When you're working full time, the days are short. It's hard to get time outside. So I'm really struggling with that at the moment. I haven't had a day in the garden for at least 6 weeks, maybe. Yeah, I just haven't been able to get out into the garden. I chopped a couple of logs just because I needed something today. I needed to hit something today, so I went and chopped a couple of logs just to burn off some extra energy. Let's see, who else is coming? Rob, how are you doing, mate? I hope everything's good with you. Derek, good evening from Germany. A very cold Germany. The wood oven is on, and my wife has baked some biscuits for Christmas. Oh man, biscuits! That sounds absolutely amazing. TFL, I'm on Insta live as well, or Facebook. I'm on YouTube live actually. So I do YouTube live, and then I sort of replicate it on TikTok. I don't bother with Facebook Live. I was thinking you're talking to yourself. No, I'm not that mad. I'm a little bit nutty, but I'm not that nutty to sit here talking to myself. Yeah, some people would class me as nutty, but yeah, I'm not that nutty yet. I don't think. So who else have we got? Life is great. Grandkids are coming for Christmas. Garden is doing as good as it can. We're just getting crazy amounts of rain at the moment. It's just absolutely non-stop. And tomorrow's forecast to be really mad day of rain. What's Derek's? You're making me hungry. Talking of, when you're talking about Christmas cookies and stuff, my daughter baked. She's got into baking quite a bit, so she baked, which is good for me actually. Oh well, not so good for this, but it's yeah. She made a chocolate cake today with chocolate. She made a chocolate cake with gooey stuff in the middle and chocolate flakes over the top, and then edible glitter. And I'm like, yeah, man, this is what I'm talking about. But so I can relate a little bit to that. Adam Heath, life's good, all things considered. Feel very lucky with everything going on in the world. Jobs keeping me busy, tidying up loose ends with estate, garden. I look after. How big is the garden that you're looking after? Mali B. Walaikum Assalam. I won't say any more than that. Besides, thanks for being one of the influences that's keeping my garden alive. Oh yeah, you're very welcome. You're absolutely very welcome. This is what I live for. When people actually feedback and say they've actually learned something and they've managed to grow something. I remember I got one of the best comments I got was, "I grew a tomato thanks to you," and it's like, yes, that's exactly what it's about. What soil do you recommend for hodu? So, there's my tea over there. Just one second. Let me get my tea. It's getting cold. So you're going to hear me slurping now. What soil do I recommend? So with hodu, you want to give it something that's got lots of nutrition. Pot size is really important. Remember, a good, strong, healthy plant will burrow down at least a foot and a half into the ground. So if you're growing in a pot, you want to use something absolutely huge. I use, the old style dustbins. I use those as pots. But you want to, if I really could, I'd go for something that's a little bit wider, because those old style dustbins, they go down to about 3 foot, and they're about a foot and a half wide, aren't they? So that sort of dimension. Ideally, you'd want something about 2 foot by 2 foot. Yeah, ideally as a minimum size. And then you'd want lots of, what I do in the bottom of it is I put in a little bit of wood chip and then loads and loads of kitchen scraps. So the first 3 or 4 inches is wood chip, then maybe sort of 6 to 8 inches of kitchen scraps, and I'll fill it with that right now. And then I'll fill it up with garden compost. So loads of homemade compost that I've made, and then just leave it over winter. Come next spring, top it up. You'll see the soil level drop quite a bit because all that stuff is broken down. And then you just top it up with fresh compost and plant your hodu in there, and you'll be flying. You really won't have to give it much food, because that's like a self-composting, self-feeding pot, and it'll just continuously grow. If you want to feed it a bit, give it a bit of potash, and that'll just help it with its with its fruiting. So that's what I do. So I've not been down the allotment for about 8 weeks. It's hard, isn't it, Rob? Do you work during the day? Socks in the garden. Hope you're well. Happy Friday to you. Di, how are you doing? Good evening. I'm all right. I'm all right. I might cut this one a little bit short today. My wife's not well at all. She has some something, and she's struggling to get up at the moment. She's struggling to get up and about. She's yeah. I don't want to go too much into it, but she is struggling quite a bit. Amsterdam, walaikum assalam. What's the best way to protect young fruit trees in the dormant season? What kind of fruit trees are we talking? You okay, buddy? Yeah. Come on. My family garden live. Oh, we've got the garden invader here. Sit down properly. No. My head. Oh, behave. I've got tea next to the computer. I've got liquid next to the computer. Behave. Okay. I'm sure we've had the wettest year on record this year. It's been a nightmare. Throat a drying summer, and you couldn't make it up.
I know how to use a computer.
16 acres. That's a massive job, mate. That'll keep you busy. Same here in the state. We had flood warnings all week and already had multiple frosts, so haven't done much in my garden. There you go.
How did you get it?
Yeah, just be careful that top's not screwed on, so be very careful. I've not been well for the last 4 weeks. I've had a whole mouthful of ulcers. I remember you mentioning I think you mentioned it last week as well. Are there any signs of getting better? Today, for the first time in 6 weeks, I've actually managed a meal. I'm glad it's starting to get better. I am. Yeah, that's good to hear. He's adorable. He's a packet of bananas. This one, right here, full of beans. Just keeps you on your toes. That's one thing. I've got a month worth of steroids, counting down from 6 a day to 1 a day for 6 weeks, a month's worth actually. But I'm getting there. I hope you recover, and I hope you recover before that 6 weeks, because the last thing when you're not ill, when you're ill and then you're hungry as well, that's just a recipe for miserableness.
How do you go on the emojis?
How do you go on the emojis? There you go on the emojis. So, is anyone gonna get any time outside this weekend?
Buddy, no one.
Tomorrow's supposed to be a real windy, stormy, horrible, miserable day again tomorrow. It's forecast to be really bad. So I'm not looking forward to that, because I was hoping, some of you know that I stood for local council elections last year, and I'm planning on doing it again next year. And tomorrow was supposed to be the kickoff for my campaign, and the weather's just put a real dampener on that. Just calm down. I'm hoping to harvest some potatoes and carrots. Have you still got a lot of? Oh yeah, you mentioned you still got about 30 buckets of potatoes to harvest. What are you doing? Yeah, you've got about 30 buckets of. What
happened?
Carrots, potatoes left.
Chat. I'm chatting.
So I'm going to hopefully try and turn my compost bin, which is just full. Just give it a quick turn over,
Wait.
Do you know when you turn it over, do you pull everything out and then put it all back in? Or how do you go about turning it over?
How do you spell favorite?
I see what I'm halfway through rebuilding my compost bins.
How do you spell favorite?
FAV.
Oh yeah, I got it.
Okay. So yeah, I'm halfway through building my compost bins. I sort of started videoing that a few months ago. I got hot. No, it's not E. I haven't got an E in it there. There you go. That's how you spell it. There you go.
Favorite.
Well, that's not how you spell it either. I can't spell.
How do you spell favorite?
Someone type in favorite because I can't spell it. So here's the problem. I have leek seeds, and then on the way home I've stopped off at the shop.
I'm gonna do it how
Got
I'm gonna
4
do it.
leeks. 4.
I'm gonna do it how I'm gonna do it.
1 inch, 1.5 foot for $1.38. I know exactly what you're thinking. It's like sometimes is it worth it? It's when food is so cheap. But the thing is,
Papa,
what
I'm just gonna spell it how I wanna do it.
there's, do you know, like if you'd have pulled that leek fresh out your soil, right? You could taste the difference. You can see, you can taste the crispiness. You can taste the freshness come through. But when you buy that stuff, you don't know what's gone into it, how much chemicals that pumped into it. Yeah, so there is a little bit of a cost payoff. But even organic stuff, when you think about how much that cost, and you think about the amount of effort that you're putting in to produce something.
Baba, someone made. Oh no.
I don't think that price can match it. You know, the price that you pay in the shop. I don't think that can match the produce that you're going to be producing. I was thinking the same thing on my first year as well. You haven't sown you got my garlic's coming on really well actually. My garlic's about 4 to 6 inches sort of height. I didn't realize I threw a dumpy bag on one corner near the edge of the bed, and I thought, okay, my garlic, that's not where I planted my garlic. And then I moved it a couple of.
I've done it, guys. I've done it.
Weeks ago, just because
don't need to type it anymore. I've done it.
Picking some wood in, and then once I moved the bag, I found loads of yellow garlic that had bent over because they haven't got the light. So they're trying to straighten themselves up. So
how do you spell fruit?
Walaikum Assalam. Thanks for interviewing the legend himself, Aranya. Last time I've done a PDC with him back in 2019. Also, Catherine Aitken taught us on the course material. Oh, fantastic!
Does anyone know how to spell fruit?
I'm glad you enjoyed it with him. It was a good interview. I'm gonna have him back in the new year because I really enjoyed the conversation.
Papa, do you know how to spell fruit?
Fruit, yeah. Yeah, I know how to spell fruit. I'm just struggling with favorite. Yeah.
I want to do favorite fruits.
There you go. That's right. Now I've got
No, I've already done that.
There you go. There you go, favorite fruit. So, did your sustainability move towards recipes picking? So, Robert, yeah, I mean, we do a lot of cooking. We did a lot of cooking videos before, but sadly, I mean, the cooking videos and the recipe videos never did very well. So, it was just one of those things that
Yes.
the amount of effort that I put in and the amount of views that I got back for it, it wasn't worth it. So I stopped doing the cooking videos. But we used to do them. I mean, the pickling that we've done has actually turned into a little bit of a side hustle for us, and a little bit of a business. Okay, exactly.
I need to do
No,
this.
okay.
B. Rain it. And it's
No,
grapes.
okay, just send that. That's it. You need to go. Your mum's calling. Go. Go. Yeah, take that. Zaki, take that downstairs.
No. Not like it.
We got these emoji things up, and now I don't know how to get them down again. See, now he shrunk my chat because he's put all these emojis up, and I don't know how to get them down. My garlic's only just started to poke through. The broad beans are doing great, though. Plenty of good sized Swedes to harvest and 3 types of kale. See, I still haven't sold my onions, and that's one of the things that I'm really gutted about. But my propagators are hopefully going to come out this weekend, and I might be able to do a video inside the house of what I'm sowing with the broad beans. Not broad beans, with the onions and what I'm sowing with the propagators. Because what I'll probably do is just sow a load of onions, and then straight after the onions pop their heads up, and I'll stick in loads of chilies. Because it's another couple of weeks and it's chili season for me. So Ali, how are you doing? Assalamu alaikum. Thanks very much for coming in. Hope you're keeping well. So what's going on here? Come on. I'm losing myself in the chat. I've lost myself. It's the pure satisfaction of growing your own veg. Such joy on a Sunday lunch for fresh food and veg. Absolutely, it is. It's that freshness that and do you know what? I'm more of a grower than a harvester. I don't know about everyone else, but the process of growing, getting into the soil, getting into the garden, getting outside, watching something grow from a tiny seed to something that you can actually eat and turn into food. That's the thing that really does it for me. If it wasn't for my mum picking stuff, going out and picking stuff when it's ready, a lot of stuff could end up getting spoiled very easily in our garden. And that's the sad thing. I'll be honest about that. Just simply because harvesting doesn't interest me as much, but the whole process of growing and getting something going, that's the thing that really gets my juices flowing. I think I just did a rhyme there. So I find that if I do a non-gardening video, I lose a few views. The thing is, I lose subscribers every video that I get. So every video I put out, I lose some subscribers, but I gain a load as well. So sometimes it's some people do click off, but sometimes it's just YouTube cycling the system as well, killing dead accounts, clearing off dead accounts, clearing off sort of bots. That sort of thing happens as well. You should cut the tops off the onions before transplanting the seedlings. Yeah. Should you cut the tops off? You can do. I've seen people do it. I've done it once. I've found that it sort of sets if you cut the tops off, it makes it easier for handling. But the thing that I found is it can cause a little bit of rot, because remember, onion leaves are hollow in the middle. And especially if they get a little bit of cold, if you've got them in a cold greenhouse outside, they can get frost damage and cause a little bit of rot. So yeah, I don't do that. Do you know who Adam Aslam is? Yeah, I do. I do. I know him very well. Um, do you have any quick bread recipes? I don't have any quick bread recipes. I'm new to baking bread. I started making my own pizza dough not so long ago. But if you ask me for a recipe off the top of my head, I couldn't tell you. I'd have to go and look it up on how we did it. But I'm very new to baking bread. Have I heard of breaking down barriers? I have. I have heard of it. Um, I know Adam runs it. I find that if I do a non-God, okay, I've read that one a few times. I was a part. Okay, wow, wow, okay. Because they've come on a couple of our action days last year. Breaking down barriers joined on a couple of action days that we did. So when we did a community day where we trimmed the willow tree in Hare Hills. What's the other one? The growers. I can't remember the name. Back to front. So back to front, breaking down barriers. Um, they were doing a pruning session around. They're doing a tidying session around the willow tree in Hare Hills, and it's a coppiced willow tree, and the branches are just sort of shot out at every angle, so you could barely walk past it. And they were just going to plan on just tidy up around it, plant a few bulbs and stuff. And when I saw the tree, I was like, we need to sort this out so people can actually walk along the pavement safely and walk past the tree safely. So I went and got my chainsaw and I just give it a good proper prune, cleaned all the side, and we ended up with a shape of the willow tree like that, so you could actually sit underneath it. I mean, it's one of the few green bits in Hare Hills. Is it near Asda? It's near, do you know where the old Compton Arms was? Just down from the Compton Arms, near the little mini roundabout. So we tidied that up, and we planted a cherry tree there, and just turned it into a little community area. So planted loads of spring bulbs. We did that last year, and it just turned it from, because the way the willow arch fell, the way the coppice was and all those side shoots that shot out. If you were walking along the pavement, you'd have had to duck. You couldn't walk across it safely. So I cleared all that out for them, and yeah, it was when my chainsaw was fairly new, and it got me a chance to play with my chainsaw outside. So it was fun for me. Any reason to get my chainsaw out, and I got to take home some nice willow canes as well, some really long willow canes, and I made a really nice arch in my garden with it. Wonky arch. I've never tried growing swede, but I may give it a go. Do you like eating swede? I think it's okay. If you ever make a bhaji out of swede, it's quite good. If you sort of spice up the onions and then throw in some swede in there, you get the sweetness and the sweetness from the swede and the spiciness from the spiced up onions. It turns into something quite nice. Am I way back in the chat? Because Zaki shrunk the chat screen with this thing that he's done, and I don't know where I'm at. My kale is already earmarked for Christmas dinner. The family wanted a potato and a sweet mash this year. Nice to know some of my veg made the. Oh yes. Just got an advertisement during this live stream. Yeah, it's gonna do that from time to time. I hope it wasn't anything bad. How did autocorrect do what? Where are we gone? Let me catch up. Half of my potatoes are still in the ground. See, a lot of my potatoes, I think I mentioned it last week, is I've got two patches of potatoes, one that's self-seeded and one that I actually planted myself. And the ones that I planted myself really did. The plants were really poor. They were really pathetic, really poor harvest. And the ones that self-seeded, I got half a bucket of potatoes just from a couple of plants, and it was like, wow, do you know the effort? So I think I'm just going to leave plants to self-seed now then. Indulgent Sultan, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Alhamdulillah. Hope you're good. Hope everything's good with you. and keeping Allah keeping you blessed. Um, so Sarah, and I said, absolutely. The thing is, it's something that's got to be done. Without a doubt, it's something that's got to be done. It's part of who we are. So yeah. I don't know. Ads could actually pop up on live streams. It's a new option. It's something that new that TikTok YouTubers brought in. So they will be coming in sometimes. I know it's a little bit frustrating, but yeah, they're going to be there. I forgot I've got a big pot of carrots as well. I've got some carrots outside my back door. Right in the container garden that I did, we've got some carrots. One box of carrots left. I forgot about them. My wife went and picked a couple the other day because he's very picky on food, but fresh veg, carrots is one of those veg that he'll actually eat. Because you wash it, you peel it for him, and give him the carrot with the leaf on, and he'll munch on it like Bugs Bunny. Yeah, they're still willing to do that. So as long as they do that, that's one of the best things about growing homegrown carrots. Don't get me wrong; these leek seeds will be seeded, and the cheapness of the leeks, 138 and 2 days meal, I could not resist. I don't blame you at all, man. I don't blame you at all. Where am I in the chat? I haven't got my glasses, so that's not going to hit. Just ordered my chili seeds. What's SDCF? I did 6 buckets this year and I had about 13 potatoes out of all the buckets. Very sad. There were Maris, Piper, Charlotte's, and Pentland Javelin. Very unhappy. Did they get enough water? Or did the plants look healthy? My German wife makes carrot bread. Carrot bread? That sounds interesting. The thing is, I thought that about carrot cake. Do you know when I first heard of carrot cake, I thought, oh, that's going to be, that's going to be a bit minging. And then when I actually tasted it, it was like, yeah, I actually like this. It's got to have lots of icing on it, but yeah, I do actually like it. But I'm like that way a lot of cake. Unfortunately, I do like a lot of cake. I don't know if anyone else is like that, but yeah. If mine were in the ground, I wouldn't worry about them, but mine are in buckets and containers. I'll dump them this weekend and hope they're not all rotted. See, if you're in pots, if you pop them up off the ground and if you've got something to cover them with, then they're normally okay. What I tend to do is I stick a couple of bits of twigs and stuff underneath it, just so it's off the ground. And then just stick a bit of cardboard over the top if I'm leaving pots outside, and then that way the rain's not soaking into the soil as much. It's just sort of running off the top. Some's going to get through, but a lot of it's just going to soak off the top. And I normally grow in sort of 30-litre pots, slightly bigger, that size. And even when it freezes, even when the ground freezes, those pots don't actually freeze. So that's one advantage. If mine were where am I? We're very dry cold here in Germany, and the fridge. My wife's getting me an online voucher for seeds. Looking forward to ordering Christmas Day. Shame Premier Seeds don't do voucher. Sent her a link to Dobby Seeds. I actually had I picked a basket full of seeds with Premier. I had it in my basket on eBay for about 3 months, something like that, 3 or 4 months, and I got fed up of looking at the basket and thinking, oh, when am I going to have time to actually look and pick some more seeds? So I hit the like button. I hit the buy button on Monday, so they should be arriving anytime now, and that'll be a nice bunch of seeds. More seeds than I actually need, but I see some. I see chilies. I see seeds, and I think, yeah, I want them. South Devon Chili Farm. South Devon Chili Farm. Okay, I'm gonna have to have a look at those guys. See what they're all about. Beautiful, healthy plants, lots of water. Just don't know why I didn't get any harvest. If they were really lush plants, the thing that could have been going on was, did you give them a lot of sort of manure type feed or chicken manure or sort of nitrogen rich feed? They could have just been putting a lot of effort into growing the plant rather than growing the root. Talking of sweets, do you make rasmalai or gulab jamun? Sorry for the spelling, it's wrong. We make rasmalai, gulab jamun, rasgulla as well at home. Yes, we do. Not always, special occasions. Excuse me. A lot of kheer as well. Kheer is quite good. I like kheer. Gulab jamun and rasmalai and these kind of things, they take a lot of effort to make. Kheer can be made a little bit easier. I love watching. Everyone likes watching potato reveals. Can you recommend a good copper for beetroot? A good cropper for beetroot seeds? Boltardi. But you can't go wrong with Boltardi. Now, normally Boltardi are quite round. I just ordered some cylindrical Boltardi seeds, and it's the same variety of beetroot. It's a good cropper. It's a nice size one. It's not a massive one. It's not a tiny one. It's just the perfect sort of size, just like a big onion. I've always found them really good. Good germinators and turn into decent. You get a decent harvest from them as well. You can eat beetroot leaves as well. So yeah, eat the beetroot leaves. Grated beetroot and cake is tasty. I've heard of that. Some people are making beetroot cake and putting a bit of chocolate and beetroot together. I've not tried it myself. What my wife did, not yesterday, the day before, was she made me some hummus, and she put beetroot in the hummus, and she sprinkled some pomegranate seeds on the top. And I looked at it and she goes, "Oh, what do you think's made it red?" And I looked at it and I was like, "Okay, there's pomegranate seeds on the top. Obviously, she's blended some pomegranate into it. That's obvious, isn't it?" And I'm like, "You think I'm dumb? It's pomegranate." And he's like, "No." So for about half an hour, she had me guessing. What? Even after I was eating it, I still couldn't taste the beetroot, and I was still thinking, what she put in this thing? And then after I've eaten it, and then she turned around and said, "Oh, it's beetroot." And I'm like, okay, that's why it tastes funny. Garden is actually funny because the most watched videos on my channel was first potato reveal from this spring. So potato reveals are always good. I like potato reveals. Yeah, I remember when I first started. When I first started watching YouTube. Some of the videos that I used to watch was potato reveal experiments. People building all kinds of towers to try and stack and grow the potato plant as high as possible. So there was one guy he was using tires and probably stacked about 8 tires high, and you could just see the top. And then when he harvested, he got just a tiny bunch of potatoes at the very bottom of the first tire. There's another guy who'd built like a tower out of pallet wood with a door and a hinge. And he'd done it like with two, like those stable doors, and again stacked it up to the top as the potato plant was growing, kept on topping it up, topping it up, and he got a bunch of little potatoes at the very bottom. Yeah, I remember those kind of videos, and I was thinking, yeah, I think I need to get in on this action. And it took me about 4 or 5 years of watching them before I actually got in. Yes, buddy.
You know how I asked if we could do like a takeover live thing on our
Yeah,
birthdays?
yeah,
So have you thought about it?
yeah. I said you can. Excuse you.
Sorry.
Yeah, I said you can. No problem. Yeah.
Okay.
Go
What
back.
should I do on it though?
Whatever you want. My wife made some courgette cake, and it was great. Courgette cake.
What's a courgette?
Courgette is you like courgettes? I'm sure you do. It's a green vegetable that we grow in the garden. Um, it was like a funny potato trying to create. Yeah, it was. It was years ago. It was probably about 10 years ago. See, I used to watch a lot of Rick Van Man. Rick Van Man, I think his name was. Uh, yeah, I used to watch a lot of his videos those back then. Oh, don't do that. Why you dismant? Put it back together. Why are you dismantling my bed? Um, everyone's coming. Everyone's turning up now. Even Brownie's here. She don't want to be in.
I'm sad.
Why you sad?
I can't play the Pokemon game on Roblox anymore.
Okay.
Right, it's not on the continue playing, and when I searched it up on the games thing, it wasn't there.
You'll be fine, boy. You'll be fine. I'm sure you'll get over that very quickly.
You're on the TikTok live stream.
Yeah.
Why does the lights look so dark?
There's something going on with it. It's the way that it's catching that light. Yeah, it's the way it's catching that light.
Beans.
Brownie's just one of the most chilled cat I've ever seen. You know, this cat, my nephew comes round, and
he's a baby, and he even body slams her, pulls her tail, and etc.
Yeah, he's how old is it?
Almost 2.
Almost 2. So he's getting
2 and 11 months.
1 and 11 months.
Oh yeah, 1 and 11 months.
Yeah, so he's sitting on top of her. He's lying down, and she doesn't even move. She just lies there.
Okay.
Leave her alone. Leave my cat alone.
It's my cat.
She doesn't even. She just sort of lies there and lets the kids just do what they want. And then when they've gone, or when she gets fed up, she she runs outside and just sits outside.
She wouldn't come off the outside windowsill a bit when. We have 4 windows on one of the living room windows. Well, 4 windows that can open.
You eat raw potatoes? Yeah. No way.
So the 4 windows, there's 2 small ones at the top, and and under them is the bigger ones that you can me and Khadija sometimes climb in and out through there. And there's an old table on the other side of the window. And we go on the table, and there's a little bit expanding there. You do that to climb through the window, and so does Brownie when she wants to come in. And then when Jacob came over, he kept body slamming and pulling Brownie's tail. And then the brownies and had enough of that, and just went outside and just sat on the windowsill. When she wanted to come in, she and saw Jacob, and then she would just stay on the
Yeah, she just stays
windowsill.
outside until he's gone. Yeah. So I've not done a video for about 8 weeks now. See, I'm in the same boat at the minute. I just haven't got the time to do it. Have I begun homeschooling? Yes, I have. So we started homeschooling. We're about a month into it. Yeah, we're about a month into it, I think. It's interesting. Are you liking it?
No.
No, because you have to actually do some work now. You don't get away with not doing any work. Because you're smart kids, I want to make sure that you're doing it. How the council to do the paperwork. If you want to deregister your children, it's really simple, really, really straightforward. You just tell the head teacher of the school that I just sent my kid's head teacher an email saying, take them off the school register because I'm gonna exercise my right to homeschool. The sad thing is he wanted to show his power. He wanted to be a bit of an arrogant so and so. When I was talking to him, he said, "Oh, why don't you take your kids out then instead of?" Because I said, "Look, I'm very tempted to pull my kids out of school," and he says, "Yeah, do it. Well, let's see you do it." So fine. Your son Sanders, yeah, is his Pokemon game. You'll be right.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm just annoyed that I haven't been able to find it.
He'll be right. Was on holiday for 6 weeks. The weather was not. Homeschooling is the best way to go. It keeps control in your hands and keeps the corrupt narrative away. See, there's a lot of stuff that I'm just fed up with school about. It's not focused just on making sure kids can actually learn and be productive. That's not what it's about anymore. Yeah, I'm not happy with the way schools are going. And yeah, I don't like the hypocrisy of it all either. So little Zaki, he's still in school. 2 days ago, someone stabbed him in the face with a.
Didn't stab him in the face, and they barely didn't even leave a mark.
It didn't even leave a mark, but the deliberate. Another kid deliberately slashed him in the face or stabbed him in the face with a pair of scissors.
With the blunt end.
Doesn't matter what end, boy. They deliberately tried to stab him in the face with some scissors. The teacher actually kids in our primary school aren't allowed to wear the shoes that they wear outside into the class anymore. You have to buy them separate shoes to wear indoors. So you have to buy your kids 2 sets of shoes now. So a set for indoors and a set for outdoors. Regardless of, yeah, they went to the same school before. And now, I mean, the kids, when they take the shoes off, they're left all over the place. So my little boy, for a week, he was in school with no shoes on because they couldn't find his shoes. No one bothered to tell us, look, he's walking around with no shoes on. You know, it's cold on those concrete floors. They've got those thin carpets or they've got lino on. And at this time of year, you can't have kids walking about barefoot on the floor. It's just silly things like that schools are doing and when you talk to them about it or you raise it, they get really on a power trip. I don't like that anymore. I'm not putting up with it. About your game you're playing, and I was watching, and it was mega complicated. Finish your game. Finish your info about your game you were playing. Go on. Your Roblox game.
Something in my eye.
What's in your eye?
Yeah, I don't know.
You okay? You good?
Yeah,
Aye.
probably just a hair or something.
Why don't you become a governor? I did become a governor. I was a governor at one school. It wasn't my kid's school, but it was another school. So I was a governor there, and I stopped being a governor last year. I was a governor there for a while, and then I stopped last year. It's taken. There's a lot of work involved. It does take a lot of work.
Oh, Rob,
Rob, you take care. You take care. Thanks for coming in, and I'll see you again soon. But you know, yeah, homeschooling, take the bin out. There you go. See, they were holding ladders for me while I fixed the roof earlier. So they're seeing something. But no, I mean, there's some really good setups. There's some people that I've come up. There's some people who do YouTube and stuff, and they've been doing homeschooling for a good few years. And
I'm gonna be a sculptor.
you can't, yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
fine.
make little clay models. I've got a fizzy drink can that I'm gonna cut open and combine with another fizzy drink can to make a Ninja Turtle sculpture from.
I don't like the idea you're playing with fizzy drink, cut open tin cans. You know, they're really sharp. Let's figure out how to do it so you don't want to get caught. But yeah, that's the only thing. I don't like the idea of you cutting open fizzy drink cans because they're really, I mean, really sharp. Do you see what your fufa did to his hand? That big cut across his finger.
Yeah.
That was from the same material that your fizzy drink cans are made from.
It wasn't in the same shape though.
No, it wasn't in the same shape, but it was the same material. When you start planting watermelon and melon seeds, it's first time on.
Just have to not. So I basically just have to make it all into one big smooth movement.
Yes.
So there won't be any jagged edges.
I've got some nice tin snips outside, so you can use them to cut it.
I've already attached the can and made it look like old and broken.
Yeah, that's fine.
So it can to make more texture in the finished model.
Okay, that's fine. There's the tin snips if you want to cut it. There's some good tin snips as well. When you start planting watermelon melon seeds, it's the first time I'm planting. I wouldn't plant them till late March, that sort of time. So sort of mid to late March, that's when I'd sow them. Because remember, they can't. I don't know where you are in the UK. If you are in the UK, but for me, they wouldn't be able to go out till May. So they'd have to be in the house for the whole of April. Maybe early May, move them into the greenhouse. End of May, June, then you can think about planting them in the garden outside. Yeah. So they're very sharp. Be careful. The tin cuts very easily. Look. Yeah, Derek. Apparently, a couple of kids did it to each other in there. They're in what year? Year one.
A reception.
They're in reception. So reception kids. A couple of them got the. I don't know. Have you heard of reception kids being put in internal exclusion because a couple of them have stabbed a couple of others? Zaki got it least bad. Another kid actually.
Back when I was in reception, kids were swearing. And...
Yeah. See. Yeah, we're not having that. See, another kid actually drew blood from another one. I picked 2 packs up of red onion seeds that I'm hoping to pot up this weekend. I've tempted to sow some Bedfordshire Champion onion seeds. I've got some Bedfordshire Champion ones, but they never grow massive for me. They always turn into a decent. They turn into decent onions. Stir on always do good, but Bedfordshire Champion always seem to be just another onion to me. I'm ready for winter to be over. I'm with you there. I'm absolutely with you there. These short days, it just makes you miserable. I came up, so our routine now is the kids go to work with me in the morning, and they do their schoolwork in my office, and they left me. What time did you leave me on Wednesday, Thursday? Was it about 3 o'clock? No, you left me about 2:45. So about 2:45 they left me, and then I came out of the office at 3:30. I'm walking home, and it was already dark. 3:30 is miserable. It was wet, it was windy, and it was dark. Yeah, just not nice. Is it an academy? No, it's not an academy. It's just a normal school. I wish it was spring so I can grow more. I wish it. Yeah, I'm with you. And a bit more light as well. I did Bedfordshire Champion. I was very disappointed with them. See, a lot of people, do you know when they advertise Bedfordshire Champion, they're supposed to be like massive onions or something really quality, but they weren't anything special for me. They were just sort of average onions. But this year was the worst year I've ever had for onions and garlic. I mean, onions was my own fault, but the garlic, yeah, it was just absolutely miserable. It's the worst year I've ever had for garlic. You go in Senshu. See, Senshu, if you start them a bit earlier, if you start them sort of early autumn time, late summer, early autumn time, you can have them planted out into the garden and overwinter them in the ground. If you start them as seeds from seeds late August, early September, plant them out in sort of late September, early October, that sort of time when you'd normally be planting your garlic, and they'll overwinter in the ground quite happily, and then next spring they're already well ahead. They're establishing themselves and raring to go.
Baba.
See, Globo. I tried Globo. They're a Spanish onion, aren't they? But I couldn't get them to germinate. For the life of me, they just wouldn't do anything for me. I sowed them maybe 3 or 4 times, and last year they just wouldn't germinate. I don't know if they were dud seed or what, but yeah, just really,
Baba.
really poor germination with them. Yes, buddy. No, go on. Go on.
No.
Go on. I think I'm going to skip onions and only do shallots this season. Pot noodle pots. I love the pot noodle pots because they're deeper. They're a bit deeper than everything else or other pots their size. So pot noodle pots are brilliant. Why not? What are we doing? We might get the propagators out tonight. Let's have a look. Just time, man. Because we've got a market on Sunday in Wetherby. We're in Wetherby this Sunday. If anyone is in Wetherby and wants to come out and see us, and then we're in Meanwood next Saturday, and then what's the other one? Harrogate on Sunday. So I'm working 7 days a week at the minute. I'm tired. I'm tired. Yes, buddy. Where you going? Okay. I'm coming down in a minute. Wilco that closed down Pity was great. I loved Wilco's. I really loved it. Wilco's. Big Mac, how are you doing, man? Hope you're keeping well. Happy to see that. He's in his pajamas. I'm gonna fight with him for the next hour, trying to get him to bed though. uh, um, is you send him up to bed, and everything goes quiet. They make a little bit of a racket, and then everything goes quiet. Then you come up thinking, "Oh, they've gone to bed," and you find them all hidden in one spot. That they're either telling them each other stories, or they're doing something that they shouldn't be doing, and then you're fighting with them for the next half an hour. Get to sleep. Um, yeah, that one. He doesn't sleep very well. He doesn't sleep very well at all. He's do you know one thing I know we've done right by these kids is we've got they can read, and they really like reading. um I'll be honest with you, I'm not the type of person who'll pick up a book just to read it for fun. I read to study. So I read to get information and learn something, and I'm a very slow reader. uh, yeah, I am very, I read very slowly, and I read. I wasn't very good at reading when I was a kid, but when I grew up, turned into sort of when I read, I study. These kids, the one thing that we've done right by these kids is they read. They've always got books in their hands, and they're always, reading something. They won't leave the house without a book. And the other night, I found him about 12 o'clock at night. He's got a torch under his duvet reading his book. Um, yeah, I like you reading, boy, but not at 12 o'clock at night when you should be sleeping. Um, so, Rob, I got the one from Sansi light bulb. Sansi, I've got a Sansi light bulb. No, have I got a Sansi light bulb? I've got some kind of light bulb. I'll check. I'll make sure if it is that one.
Baba,
Yes, buddy.
you know how the takeover live stream
Yeah.
birthday thing? So I have an idea on what I can do. I can they can submit their own characters, and I can draw them and put them in like a story with my characters as well.
So, well, you can do it. You can do it before that if you want. Yeah. One day next week, when we get school holidays, or when there is school holidays, when I'm not teaching, we'll do a live stream for you guys. Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to get on. I need 500 points on you from Ed Place for you to do that. That's your reward. You do your 500 points, and then you can get Ed Place. You're on 200, so it's only 300 to go in 2 weeks. Okay. Yeah. Okay. But look at the questions. Don't just rush through them. I think I've just got a bribe there. Well done. Now my youngest is 19, and he's up through half the night, sleeps for half the day. So yeah, I read, but it's I'm dyslexic, so reading for me is it's a chore. It's difficult. Yeah, we went through school, and I just thought things were hard. It wasn't until I got to uni that I went to the learning center because one of my teachers lecturers noticed that in my essays that I'm spelling things like like a 6-year-old, and they sent me to the learning center to get some extra support on my spelling. And yeah, they did a test on me, and they said, "Oh, you're dyslexic," and I'm like, "No, I didn't know that." But yeah, you find out these things. What are you looking forward to growing next year? Anything new or something you're determined to make a good? Or see, I'm hoping my onions will do better this year. I'm hoping um, my bottle gourds do better this year. This year, next year. This year, my bottle gourds were a bit. We got a few, but where we'd normally get probably 30, 40 bottle gourds, we probably got about less than between 5 and 10. And that's a big staple for us. It's one thing that we really, we enjoy growing, we enjoy sharing it. There's that element of it, but it's something that we actually, it'll feed us really well. And that's one thing that we just didn't do well with. One plant that I really did well with this year was snake gourd. Snake gourds always do well for us. Last year wasn't so good. The year before was absolutely amazing. This year was really good as well. We've got loads and loads of good snake gourds. So I'm looking forward to that again. Squash was good this year. Crown Prince was really good. Muscat de Provence was really good. It was a good squash year. Generally, a very good squash year. What wasn't so good? My Desiree, I need to find somewhere to get potatoes now. Wilco's is closed. Seed potatoes. You can get seed potatoes from other places, but Wilco's prices, where are you going to match Wilco's prices from? You get 2.5 kilo bags for £3. Where are you going to get that again? Does anyone know? Because you can get them from Poundland or from other places, but you get like 5 seed potatoes for £1. Whereas in Wilco's, you'd get like a 2.5 kilo net for £3. Right, guys. We're past the 9 o'clock mark by a little bit. So I'm going to call it a night here. I just realized that while my eyes are hurting, I haven't got my glasses. So I'm going to call it a night here. And thanks everyone for coming in, and I'll see you again next week. You stay good. Hope tomorrow's weather doesn't give you a complete washout. I'm cultivating at least a quarter of my plot and getting it fully planted up. Any recommendations for good eating sweet corn? There are F1 varieties. Sunrise Sunrise is good. What are the other ones that we grow? What do we grow? They are F1 varieties that we grew this year. Sunrise did really well. There's another one that we always do really well with. Name's not coming to my head. It'll come. But I'm about to sign off now, so I'm gonna call it a night here. From Jameson's. I hope is it a good price, Jameson's? Okay, I found the website and I'll have a look at it. But thanks everyone for coming in, and I'll see you again next week. So I'm gonna call it a night for this one. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Where's that end button there?